You can buy an e-bike online right now that does 50 miles an hour, no license, no insurance, no registration. At least that's how it's marketed. The problem? The moment you ride it on public roads, the law may stop calling it an e-bike entirely, and that's where things get expensive. I get why these things are popular. A Sur-Ron, a Talaria, an e-Ride Pro. They look cool, they're quick, they're quiet, and compared to a motorcycle, they're relatively affordable. You get motorcycle performance without feeling like you're buying a motorcycle. That's the dream. The problem is reality doesn't always agree. Most e-bikes fall into 3 legal classes, generally. Limited speed, limited power, allowed on bike infrastructure. Simple. Once you start pushing motorcycle level performance, everything changes. Now you're entering moped or motorcycle territory, and suddenly registration, insurance, licensing, and helmet requirements start showing up uninvited. This is where a lot of buyers get blindsided. The website says e-bike, but the local police officers see something completely different, and in most states it's the officer's interpretation and your local DMV's rulebook that determines what happens next. Something like a Sur-Ron Light B ships in different configurations depending on the market. The street legal version exists, but plenty of buyers are riding the off-road version on public roads and hoping nobody notices. Some get lucky, some don't. The sticker price is medium, $4,000 to $8,000 for most of these machines. Not cheap, but not unreasonable for what you're getting mechanically. But here's the real cost. You're not just buying a vehicle, you're buying uncertainty. One ticket, one impound, one towing bill, one legal gray area stop that turns into a bad afternoon, and suddenly your affordable alternative has a very different price tag. And the weird part? These are genuinely fun vehicles. The riding experience isn't the problem, the convenience is. Private land, convenience is high. Daily urban commuter, convenience drops fast. Because restrictions kill convenience, and these bikes run into restrictions constantly. Annoyance factor is a 4.5 out of 5, and that number needs context. The bikes themselves aren't annoying, the ownership experience can be. Can I ride here? Is this trail legal? Is that path technically a bike path or a multi-use path? And does that matter for my classification? Am I about to get stopped? These are questions nobody imagines asking when they're watching the product video at midnight. And the truly frustrating part? Again, these rides are excellent. The machine isn't the problem. The uncertainty that follows it everywhere is. Nobody buys an electric vehicle hoping to spend their commute explaining to strangers or to police officers. Buy one if you have private property to ride on, you have access to dedicated off-road trails that allow it, you're treating it as a recreational vehicle and not a commuter, and critically, you've actually checked your local regulations, not just assumed them. Avoid it if you want a simple, frictionless commuter, you want a bike lane access without thinking about it, you want zero-hassle transportation, or you're assuming e-bikes on the listing automatically means bicycle rules in your city. The last assumption is where most people get burned, not by the machine, by the paperwork they didn't expect. The verdict is skip for most people, and we need to be precise about what that means, because it's easy to misread. This isn't a verdict against the machine. These bikes are genuinely impressive. Fast, quiet, mechanically interesting, and surprisingly capable off-road. The verdict is against the use case most buyers have in mind when they order one. Skip if you want a commuter, you want bike lane access, you want to ride without thinking about legal classifications every single time. Or you could buy it if you have the land, the trails, and this part matters, the patience to navigate what street legal actually means in your specific zip code, because it varies a lot. These bikes sit in a strange no man's land. Too fast to comfortably be bicycles, not always legal enough to comfortably be motorcycles. And that friction shows up everywhere, on trails, on roads, in parking garages, and eventually on citation forms. If your goal is recreation and off-road riding with the right setup, now we're talking. Go in with your eyes open, and they're excellent machines. If your goal is easy transportation, there are better tools for the job. The best electric vehicle is the one you can actually use without creating new problems. Spend smart, stay grounded.